I'm Dave Clare, author of the upcoming book Leadership. Welcome to Profit TV. Here on Profit TV, we'll be interviewing business people from around the globe on what they're doing to grow their business, where the business has come from, where it is now, where they plan to take it in the future, how they're using their purpose to drive their business, their values to guide it, and their vision to inspire a brand new world. So I'm Dave Clare. I'm here today with a special treat. I have none other than the boss of sauce, the king of sting, the Daver of flavor. Mr. Dave Hanna, Hannahmans Sauces.
Hi guys.
Here to talk to us a little bit today about the Hannahman story and how he's using purpose, values, and visions to build an empire of sauce that's going to flavor the world.
That's what we're trying to do.
Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here on your global warming tour.
Global warming tour.
Global warming.
Yes.
Right?
Use it.
Global warming tour. We'll put it up on the screen in a moment for you.
Actually, you know what? We've actually contacted quite a few. We've gotten in contact with quite a few, like a large amount of people that have actually been following us along, and we've been doing some really crazy stuff. And yesterday we went to Calgary.
Yep.
And Window of the World, which was probably the most breathtaking thing I've ever seen in my life. And we took the sauce there, and that's basically what we do. Is we go out and we take the sauce and we let people try it. Dave is kind enough to give people, less than, a fragment. That's all that he can spare, because that's the only bottle of Geraldton. So we'll probably get into that in a bit. So go ahead.
All right, mate. So basically, I want to just give the viewers a chance to understand, how did it all start? Let's go back, lay down on the couch. Back when you were 3, how did this all start, mate?
Well, I've always been in the restaurant industry, and my vision was to create something that was a little bit different, much like myself. I'm a little odd duck, right? So I opened up, I started creating sauces while I was working at restaurants as a hobby. And I would try it out as, you got some downtime, so I would blend some stuff, I'd create this, mix some of that. And actually what I started creating, the first sauce I ever created was called Southern Cajun Barbecue.
Right.
And that sauce was like a smoky flavored barbecue sauce, and then I went from there. I did golden garlic barbecue, and I hadn't even opened up a restaurant yet. And in 2001, I had about 4 or 5 sauces that I was toying around with, and I opened up a place called the Wing Shack in Whitby, Ontario, Canada in 2001, and our concept was wings and beer. What a concept.
What a great concept, wings and beer.
Yeah, very simple.
Who knew, hey?
Yeah, who knew? Yeah, who knew? And I, of course, was welcomed the fact that I would be in business for all of, 5 minutes, from the critics and stuff, because my concept was very simple. But yet, it was simple, but my product was raise the bar.
Right.
So we rose the bar on the product, which you've tasted.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be doing some taste testing tonight as well. So we did that, and as good as our sauces were, I just hadn't been able to kind of nail that last little bit to take us over to the next level. So it was probably around Christmas time, I made a bold statement without having any real knowledge of how I was going to pull this off, but I made a bold statement that I was going to introduce a new sauce at the Super Bowl halftime show in 2002. A week prior to that, I'm scrambling around trying to get, what am I going to do? I've already said that I'm going to do this. And the morning of, or the day before, the day before, the morning of, I had this thing about blending a bunch of fresh peppers together into a sauce. Thought, okay, let's try that. Mixed it all up. It's a little bit sweeter. It had some heat, and it was like, whoa. And one of my guys, we call them Corporate Phil. In my world, everybody's got a name. This is the Wiz, but profit for purpose for you guys. But I just call him Wiz. And so Corporate Phil says, "What are you going to call it?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I just finished it." So I shake them up. I take the wings out to the wing eating contest people. And I stop at the door and I look down and I come back to him and I said, 7 pepper.
7 pepper.
That's what it's going to be called, 7 pepper. So that's how, by no design or anything like that, that's how it all happened.
Right, and number 7 was born.
Number 7 was born. It took off like a rocket.
Like a rocket. So that was at Super Bowl 2002?
Yep.
Who was playing in that game?
Ooh, I'm going to guess Green Bay. I was busy in the kitchen.
That's right. That's the point. Doesn't matter. It's the birth of 7 Pepper.
There you go.
Right? No one will remember.
All right.
No one will remember who won that Super Bowl, but they'll remember that was the birth of 7 Pepper.
That's right. Absolutely.
And that's the important part.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So, was it your most popular? I mean, that's where it started. How did you expand from 7 Pepper? What went on there?
Well, we ran with it, and
Yep.
it was just something. And what we found through our discovery was that most people, they enjoyed the sauce, but it was either A, too hot for them, or not hot enough.
Right.
So, by good fortune, luck, chance, whatever, we decided that, hey, why don't we add a couple of peppers and we'll make a 9 pepper? Why don't we take away a couple of peppers and we'll have a 5? And why don't we take a couple more and then we'll have a 3? Now, that didn't happen overnight. It was an evolution process.
Right.
And we always introduced them on the Super Bowls that I can't remember who played.
Yeah. So you use the term "we" a lot. So why is that? What's this? Who's we?
Well, anybody that I've been involved in with my endeavors and my journey of stuff is that everybody plays a part in that.
Right.
Whether or not it's somebody that works in the restaurant or somebody that like yourself or anybody that's involved in my journey is part of my team.
Right.
And it's not like my team. I'm sitting up here and doing the delegation to everybody. It's I value input. I value people's opinions and their ideas. And it's not all about me because it's a lot of things that we've created sauces that were the ideas of other people, but I just happen to be not take the credit for it. But because it's under my brand, that's that's the way it works.
Right, cool. And I'm really honored to be a small piece of that.
Oh, you're bigger than that.
Well, thank you.
I think you're bigger than me, actually. Like, come on.
I am the Wizard of Oz.
I know,
So,
I know.
Like that. There's no yellow brick road on the other side there.
I still got my yellow shoe or my red shoes on over here. So.
So how did you set out to create the Hannahmans brand?
You know what? It was never designed to be set up. When you look at something like this is a 7 pepper. This was never the way that it was. This was strictly only used as our wing sauce at the Wing Shack. And outside of that, I really didn't necessarily toy around with it. That was a wing sauce. That was it. In 2009, we had an economic, fallout, right? So
that funny thing called the GFC or
yeah,
whatever it was. Yeah.
Well, it was a combination of everything,
Yeah.
right? So it turned out that what's the first thing to go in the restaurant industry, or what's the first thing to go in a family budget when it comes to, if you're tough times at home or you got laid off, well, you're not going out.
Nope.
So a lot of restaurants suffered. I suffered from it. And in 2009, I handed in the keys and said, I'm done. Basically, what happened from that point was after the Wing Shack demise, or we shut the doors, or that chapter of my life closed, people started and kept asking me for the sauces. So I was like, well, all right, I'll sell it to you for $20 a jar in a mason jar. And I did that for 6 months to a year. And I dabbled around and I tried to be employed, and I found out that I'm completely unemployable. So the next evolution was, I have to get back in the game. And so we opened up a place called the Patty Shack, and we used the shack to go on the heels of the Wing Shack. And I started using all of the sauces within making the burgers and as burger toppings and stuff. And then I realized that, wait a minute, this sauce thing is way more than just a wing sauce. It's way more than just something that what I first originally thought was just this, but it turned out to be way more. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you've gone from the Wing Shack that you handed the keys in, then you went to the
Patty Shack.
Patty Shack, okay, and then obviously what you started to, people start calling you up saying, but we still want your sauce, we still want your sauce. So it's something that you and I have talked about in the past, is that sometimes the business you're not in yet is way bigger than the one you are in.
I can see that now.
Yeah, and and it's a hindsight thing, which is wonderful. But when you sit there and start to, what was the business really about? And it was about creating this really amazing food and flavoring and all that sort of stuff. and you said by luck or by chance, but you kept it simple. It's helped you to really start to see, and with the feedback from obviously the community and people like that, and consumers, and did some great market testing to find out that really the sauce business is where it's at.
Well, it really kind of hit a chord in 2012. I opened up a roadside barbecue, so that's basically just like a fry truck, and it was kind of a hit and a miss and a swing and a miss, and that kind of thing. And what really changed the evolution of that, and this is where it really hit me, was that I put out a bottle, and a plastic squeeze bottle. I put it out on the table and the counter, and it's in black Sharpie. I wrote 7 pepper barbecue sauce. Quite possibly the best barbecue sauce you'll ever taste. If you don't believe me, ask my mom. So, and that was a squeeze bottle. There was just like no labels, no nothing. It was just a squeeze bottle.
Right.
So what happened from there is I noticed that people started paying more attention. People started showing up a little bit more. People started, talking to me about sauces and what I was doing and how I was doing it. Right. So to me, it became a light going on that this has absolutely nothing to do with me. Right. This is about a product and the products that I have, and this is where I need to be able to say, okay, this is about these guys. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy behind them pushing them out. Yep. Right? But it really truly is about the products, and it's not about me at all. Everything I do, and in terms of the first initial thought is, let's create something that is not a novelty sauce. It has nothing to do with novelty. Right. This sauce here is a great sauce. It's a hot sauce, but the first thing that you're going to taste out of this is the flavor first. Right. You go, wow, that's tasty, and then you go, woo, that's got some kick to it.
Just be careful with my bottle.
Yeah, I know. Here, do you want some? Anyway, I'm giving this away.
He keeps giving my one bottle of global warming tour sauce away. Just for a quick business lesson: supply and demand. In Canada, how many bottles can you make of that?
I have thousands.
As many as you want.
Exactly.
How many bottles do I have here right now?
That one right
there. That one right there. One bottle here for all of Australia. Sorry, people, it's mine for the moment until we get it brought over. Supply and demand.
Okay,
you can get as much as you want when you get back over, right?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. So yeah, like what we do, and there's a huge misconception on the idea of what a hot sauce is, and a lot of people use that as being a novelty. They want to burn the butt out of their buddies and all the rest of it. That's not what we do. We're not even close to being like
that. That's that ass kicking,
slap
stupid
your
little
yeah. Like those are called novelty hot sauces because in technical terms, in terms of your ingestion, you can't even eat that stuff. Yeah. And if you give it to the wrong person, there's potentially death involved. Because it could cause them a heart attack.
Is that like what they like the suicide sauce? Is that what it's
like way up there, right? Like in terms of if you want to put a barometer on it, that if you want to talk about novelty sauces being way up here, that the Scoville units they're claiming like 3.5, 4 million, 5 million, whatever it is. Yeah. Well, I'm down here. Right. Like it's still hot, but you can use it. You can use it. You used it on your pizza yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's flavorful, it's enjoyable, and it's you can use it. The other sauces that we have, same concept. One's being a hot sauce, which is this one. These ones being more of we call it a barbecue sauce, but it's a usable sauce. You can use it in many different areas. You use it on your eggs, your omelets, and all that kind of stuff. Yep. That one was developed in a way that after we kind of got an understanding of what it was, is that we solved the world's problem that we didn't even know that they had. And that was, most families are divided by spice. Right. So in your family, you love the 9 pepper sauce.
Yes, I'm the hot one.
Your lovely wife, she has the 3. Right. Kids are somewhere in the middle. Yes. So what we've actually done is that you can create a rib dinner, a steak dinner, a pork chop dinner, a barbecue chicken dinner, whatever. You can have, everybody can sit down and have the same meal. Yep. But what we accomplished, without even knowing, is that you get now to brush your hot sauce on there, your 9 pepper. Yep. Mrs. gets to put on
the 3 pepper.
The 3 pepper. The kids put on the 5 and the 7. Yep. Everybody's eating the same dinner. Everybody gets the flavor and the heat that they want.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there you go. So one sauce, 4 levels of heat.
There you go.
Right. Raising the bar every time.
Raise the bar.
Right. So it's really interesting when you say you solved the problem that the world never knew existed. Because as an entrepreneur, I mean, what real entrepreneurs are like is they see a world that doesn't exist, And, you know, whether you stumbled onto it or, you know, you actually by design decided to create it.
No, we stumbled.
Okay, you stumbled. Honesty, great trait.
We stumbled.
Yeah, but you stumbled on it. But obviously then through that you could see that, wow, you know, that there is this opportunity. You know, and it's really great. Our family is a great example of that, you know, because I do like everything with a lot of hot sauce in it. And a lot of the hot sauces you get these days, you get the heat, but you don't get the flavor.
Yeah.
So it enhances the heat, or the, you know, when it's the heat, not the temperature per se, but the sting of the food.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, you know, it kind of loses, almost takes away from the flavor of the food.
Yeah, it doesn't enhance it.
No, and that's what I say, and that's why, of course, biased. I love Hannahmans sauces. Because of that exact reason, mate. And you know, and I think it's fantastic because that's what entrepreneurs should be doing. Is looking at ways to solve the world's problems. You know, and it doesn't have to be from a global environment and all that. Although you're going around the global warming tour, hashtag global warming tour.
18,000 kilometers so far.
18,000 kilometers so far, and you've ended up here in Geraldton, West Australia, which is very cool. You know, it's pretty amazing, mate. So, if there's anything you wanted to share with the world now. What's the future? Where do you go from here? You got your 3579. You've got the global warming tour sauce. You've got Raging Cajun Yazza. You've got Gardilic, which we haven't got on display here. Got a whole bunch of stuff like that. What's next for Hannahmans?